Hello, my name is Luke Budworth and I'm a Research Fellow in the Yorkshire Quality and Safety Research Group at the Bradford Institute for Health Research. Today I'll be talking about one of our recent projects investigating the relationship between emergency doctors' tolerance of clinical uncertainty and its impacts on their decision making. Every decision we make is made with some degree of uncertainty as we can't perfectly predict the future. We must weigh up the pros and cons of each choice and decide a best course of action in a reasoned manner. For some decisions, such as choosing a mode of transport to get to a friend's party, we may effortlessly make our choice as the effect of being late is relatively inconsequential. However, this exact same choice in the context of travelling to that friend's wedding may be more taxing, as the consequences to making an incorrect choice are more salient. Thus, for the party, we may allow for a risk of arriving late and choose the environmentally friendly option. In the latter, we may never catch the buzz as the uncertain risk of arriving late, however small, has large consequences. Unsurprisingly, the relationship between uncertainty and risk-taking is more complex than it first seems. Aside from complexities regarding sources and contexts of uncertainty, for instance, do we have accurate data on the frequency of buzz delays, some individuals can handle or tolerate uncertainty more than others. Thus, for some, catching that buzz may always be their preferred choice, despite the fact that there is a risk of being late, and importantly, that the exact risk is unknown. For these individuals, we may say that they have high risk tolerance, that is, comfort in making a potentially risky decision, born of a high ability to tolerate the uncertainty in this particular decision, that is, ability to make a choice comfortably, even though the precise risks of a choice are unknown. While high tolerance could be considered counterproductive in the previous example, for individuals in professions requiring high-risk decision-making, such as doctors, uncertainty tolerance may be a useful personality trait generally. Indeed, a relatively recent review found that higher tolerance was associated with things such as lower burnout and greater well-being, as well as lower use of diagnostic tests and other indicators of healthcare resource use. Arguably, therefore, high doctor tolerance may have positive psychological effects for them, as well as positive economic effects for the health system more broadly. On the other hand, uncertainty tolerance may not be wholly positive. If, for example, a GP with high tolerance is comfortable not ordering a diagnostic test for a patient with ambiguous or conflicting symptoms of a high-risk condition, it could be that some of their patients miss out on crucial early diagnosis and treatment. That is, while low tolerance doctors may use more resources, it could be that high tolerance doctors have higher rates of negative patient outcomes. To our knowledge, this had never been investigated before. The main aim of our research was to help establish whether interventions to help doctors manage uncertainty may be able to help save NHS resources without impacting patient health. We looked at this in the emergency medicine context as we reasoned that this is the specialty with some of the highest amounts of uncertainty in day-to-day practice. To evaluate our aims, we recruited doctors from 5 emergency departments across Yorkshire. The doctors completed one questionnaire which included a measure of uncertainty tolerance and other personality characteristics. Patient level data was extracted from these doctors' previous 30-day patient episodes. Patients included those with uncertainty-inducing complaints such as headache. We used the doctor-level questionnaire scores to predict patient-level outcomes using multi-level modelling. The target sample size was 10 doctors per site and 10 patients per doctor, giving a total sample size of 50 doctors and 500 patients. Here are just some of the things we measured in the doctor questionnaire and some of the doctor demographics we collected also. To measure uncertainty tolerance, we designed our own measure based on a model by Hillen et al. This was done to address identified limitations with previous measures, such as the physician's reaction to uncertainty scale. And here are the variables we extracted from patients' health records, including our main outcomes. Resource use indicators included test or treatment ordering and estimated episode costs. These costs were derived by matching indicators to NHS reference costs. Proxy health measures included 30-day reattendance rates, 30-day return admission rates. In primary analyses, as mentioned previously, we used doctor-level measures to predict patient-level outcomes. We assessed a range of models sequentially adjusted for potential confounding factors, such as ASA scores, that is, patients' comorbidities, their age, their gender, as well as doctor-level factors such as their experience and their gender. In total, we managed to recruit 41 doctors and match 384 patient episodes to them. A wide range and good balance of UT scores was observed amongst the doctors. We also found that uncertainty tolerance on our novel measure significantly associated with increased resilience, lower burnout, and higher positively rated work environments. While not significant, higher UT was also weakly associated with increased confidence, more experience, and less clinical hours per week. In primary analyses, models generally indicated that higher uncertainty tolerance was weakly associated with lower resource use and better health outcomes for patients. However, across every single model, no association was statistically significant, again perhaps because the effects were very small. To conclude, despite no previous attempts to design an intervention to modify doctor uncertainty tolerance, this study suggests that such interventions, at worst, may cause no significant patient harm, though it is unknown what interventions may look like in practice or whether they would have a positive effect on resource use. Our study also provides a theory-based uncertainty tolerance measure that shows promising results. We also showed that uncertainty tolerance was associated with positive doctor factors such as increased well-being. Again, this is evidence that uncertainty tolerance may be a positive trait for doctors. Of course, all conclusions must be considered in light of key limitations, including an incomplete target sample size and thus low statistical power across analyses, the effect of the pandemic on, for instance, doctor questionnaire responses and patient case mixes, and the fact that our estimates could not be estimated causally based on the design of our study.